I wanted to share my reaction to the upcoming Young Sacred Stones banner. This won't be a full breakdown of the units on this banner, even though we actually have a lot of information just from the trailer. I'll go over everything in detail once we get the full data mines update. That said, this was definitely a surprise banner because the seasonal banner for April doesn't have a set theme. Last year we had a fun young version of the Arcanair characters because it was for the 3rd anniversary of the Fire Emblem franchise. Well, I guess that banner did really well because they're continuing the trend, and as far as I know, there's no special reason this year it's for the Sacred Stones Royals who are getting miniaturized. For the banner, we have young versions of Leon, Tana, Lara Sharma, and then a dual unit of Erika and Ephraim. For the following Tempest Trials, we'll also be getting Innis for free. Now, as a Sacred Stones banner, I'm hyped, and I am going to try to get everyone for myself. However, as a dude with less than 100 orbs, because I just spent them all trying to get Spring Mirror, I'm in trouble. I think poor Mr. Wallet's going to have to take a hit. Personally, while I think the banner concept is fun and the units are definitely toward the stronger side, I'm pretty sure this is going to delay the next Action New Heroes banner for Sacred Stones. I do love these characters, but man, I would prefer to get my hands on some other characters, especially from the early game, like where's Moda the Boulder, Gilliam, Colm, Namie, and my boy Arthur. I'm extremely unsurprised the twins are a dual unit because, well, you know, it's kind of the name, but come on, I think me and a lot of people still waiting for that set alt, and maybe it could have been dual set than Erika, this time with his legendary Silver Lance. I guess it still could happen since Ephraim is now a part of 2 dual units himself, but who knows. Regardless, I've mentioned many times, so I'm pretty satisfied with the amount of alts the twins got, not even including CYL. I get that they're going to go for a young theme for the Royals of Sacred Stones, but I would love to get alts for other characters too. Now let's talk about these units real quick because we've got some fun new skills on hand. For the 4-star focus unit, this time it's going to be Little Leon. Like last year, the 4-star focus unit does have a unique weapon, and Leon's going to have the Tome of Grotto. We didn't get to see Leon's stats, but so far it doesn't seem like we can expect much difference from his other forms. His weapon grants more attack, and inflicts attack and res debuffs while neutralizing penalties to his own attack and res stats. That's pretty nice, and the conditions is mainly for the enemy phase. Tome of Grotto also acts like a Raven Tome, but only against ranged colorless options. Maybe someday we'll get a colorless Leon to complete the set. For his other skills, nothing too crazy. Attack and res solo is nice, and defense and res gap is pretty good for your tanks if you really want it. Man, I would love to go for a plus 10 Little Leon, but unless I get some god tier luck or spend a lot of money, probably not going to happen. Next up, we have Tiny Tana. She is a lance flyer with a great offensive spread, 39 attack, 41 base speed, pretty dang good, and Tana will have the Bow of Frelia. Faster specials with the 2-space warping that Halloween we got from River Fine. Additionally, she can get plus 6 attack and speed, and when initiating, she gets plus 10 defense and res. Jesus. Now that is pretty spicy, especially paired with Steady Impact for another plus 10 defense. That's not all though, because Tana has her Rain C skill, no surprise for a 5-star flyer. What is a surprise is this new skill, Speed and Defense, near Trans 3. Here we go. This is a B skill that grants Canto. It also just inflicts -3 speed and defense on the foe during combat. Basically, it seems like flyers are actually getting access to a B skill that affects stats, and obviously that goes really well with the Rain C skills. Instead of nullifying buffs like the low skills, trace skills grant Canto. Important to understand, this Canto uses your remaining movement plus 1 as the amount of spaces you can move with the Canto action. For example, if Tana moves 1 space, she has 1 space remaining. 1 plus 1 equals 2 spaces to move with Canto. Now, if you use a warp skill like Wings of Mercy or the Bow of Frelia, you can automatically will have 0 remaining movement, so you can only move 1 space with Canto afterwards. Definitely not as strong as Reagan's Canto 3 or Sumia's Canto 2, but still, Canto is just an amazing tool regardless, and this time it's inheritable. 2-space warping with Canto and a buttload of stats, I'm sure Tana's going to be fun to play around with. Moving on, next is Little Lara Sharma. This time, she's actually a cavalry healer ready to bop some people with her staff. Unsurprisingly, super squishy, but 37 attack, 38 base speed is definitely great on the Troubadour. She doesn't have Latona, but Staff of Rostin is looking pretty dang scary. It has built-in Wrathful Staff, and at the start of the turn, emits a -6 res debuff and inflicts the status that prevents counterattacks on the closest foe within 5 spaces. That is a huge range, basically the same attack range of the ranged Cavalier. Additionally, Lara Sharma also gets plus 6 attack and speed. Not only can the enemy not hit back, but they can take a ton more damage, and Lara Sharma has attack and speed push on top. Not necessarily needing Dazzling Staff is pretty neat as well, and it leaves room for speed and res Far Trance 3. It seems like Near Trance will be for melee units while Far Trance is for ranged units. The only difference between these stat variants is that Far Trance only lets you Canto with your remaining movement. If Lara Sharma moves 3 spaces to attack, she won't be able to move anywhere with Canto. In the trailer, she moves 1 space to attack, and then she can move 2 spaces with Canto. Interestingly, because we have trace skills on a Flyer and a Cavalier, I'm guessing it's going to be locked to those 2 class types. I think that's fair, and Infantry and Arm units have enough skills as is. While Flyers can use trance skills for some stat devas plus Canto, Cavaliers have the option to choose between lulls and trance skills. Mobility is always powerful in this game, so it's a neat little trade-off. Last up we have dual Erika and Ephraim. Not sure of a synonym for small that starts with the letter E, but I'm liking the nickname, Tiny Twins so far. Dual Erika is going to be a sword infantry unit, so she's going to have to bring something special to stand out. In terms of stats, 36 attack, 43 speed is just fine. Kind of similar to regular Erika, young Erika also has a pretty balanced defensive spread. Her Blade of Renee X-Light Specials grants plus 5 dodge stats, and if she has a bonus or penalty on her, then Erika deals true damage equal to 20% of the foe's defense stat, and she heals for the exact same amount when attacking. Seems like dual Erika is taking notes from her legendary form. It's not the massive 50% of the foe's defense stat like Luna, but 20% defense per hit is not bad either, basically a little less than legendary Alm's bow. Now for their dual skill, the twins have a very fun one. They grant dodge to themselves and allies within 3 rows and 3 columns centered on Erika, basically the 8 tiles around them. The dual skill can be recharged every odd number turn. So, dodge is a new status, but it's far from a new effect. It's basically the ability that Close Call and its variants introduced, up to 40% damage reduction depending on how much you outspeed the enemy. I guess we can just refer to this effect as dodge now, and you could kind of tell that's what they were trying to emulate from the start, since we don't have hit rates in Fae. I guess you could call it dodge tanking, although obviously you're not really dodging the full hit. Regardless, with this dual skill, you can give the dodge effect to any unit type. Very interesting possibilities for this one, and it should stack with other dodge or damage reduction skills in general. Just remember, percent damage reduction stacks multiplicatively. For her passive skills, Erika has Luna to stack with her sword. Distant foil is an interesting choice, even though Erika could easily run distant counter as well. No Fallout plus dodge tanking is a great combo, and Erika also has joint drive speed to further boost her speed stat. Obviously, super stacked kit, although we have many strong sword master type units around. I really hope I can snag a copy for myself. Last thing to talk about is the free young Innis we are getting from the Tempest Trials. It looks like he has a unique bow, which I hope is the case. Last year Mini Minerva got her own axe plus a unique passive. Hopefully Innis at least gets a unique bow. You know, it doesn't have to be groundbreakingly broken, but with our new, hopefully continuing pattern of Tempest units getting added to the monthly Ephraim group, I would like to plus 10 his Innis if I like his kit. I would love a colorless plus 10 project from Sacred Stones, and I do have some spare Shinons lying around. I'm guessing his Bow of Frelia specials, since he has a 1 cooldown special in this image, and that would be pretty great for Deadeye spam. Hoping for the best, although obviously not really expecting anything broken. All in all, just like last year, it looks like sending kids to war is somehow a good idea in Fire Emblem because these units all seem very solid. No unique passives for the special occasion, but we got those new Inheritable Canto skills. I am really excited for this banner, how could I not be? Like most people though, I'm sure it's more a case of, but why? I mean, if this is going to be the April seasonal theme going forward, I'm sure we'll just move on to another game next year, but currently this does just seem like a weird selection of units. I'm going to have to dive into those chain challenges I've been putting off because I really do not have any orbs right now. Going to need those Tempest orbs as well. The banner doesn't last for a month, but man, I was not expecting to have to spend more of my non-existent orb stats so soon. Looking forward to the full release in a couple of days, but that's all I wanted to say for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.